Adana and Kunli's first meeting at the art exhibit. Lagos was alive that night, its streets buzzing with life, and the city skyline glimmering like a field of stars. Inside the bustling art gallery, a different kind of energy thrived. A celebration of African creativity. Paintings adorned the walls, their vibrant strokes narrating untold stories, while intricate sculptures stood proudly, bearing the weight of ancient traditions. Adana stepped lightly across the gallery floor, her bright Ankara dress flowing around her like a moving canvas. Her coral bead necklace rested against her chest, a subtle nod to her Igbo heritage. Kunle, standing near a vibrant painting of two intertwined figures, caught sight of her. His agbada, a masterpiece of light blue fabric and golden embroidery, swayed as he turned. He didn't just see her beauty, he felt her presence, like a force drawing him closer. Adana paused, her gaze lingering on a sculpture of a woman carrying a basket on her head, a tribute to African resilience. As if guided by fate, Kunle approached. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he asked, his voice warm, with a hint of curiosity. Startled, Adana looked up, their eyes meeting for the first time. There was something in his gaze, confidence, sincerity, that caught her off guard. She smiled faintly. "It reminds me of home," she replied softly. Kunle chuckled. "Funny, I was thinking the same thing." For the next hour, the art faded into the background as they talked. They spoke of dreams, of challenges, of breaking free from the constraints of tradition. By the time the evening ended, they knew this meeting was no coincidence. It was the beginning of something that would change their lives forever. Adana confronted by her father. The evening air was heavy as Adana returned home, her heart torn between excitement and fear. The compound was quiet, save for the rustle of palm leaves in the breeze, but inside Chief Ease waited. "Adana," he began, his voice calm but firm, "I hear you've been seen with a Yoruba man." Adana's breath caught in her throat. "Father, I can explain." "Explain?" he interrupted, his staff tapping the floor with authority. "You are an Igbo woman. Our bloodline is sacred. Do you know what shame this will bring to our family?" Adana stood her ground, though her hands trembled. "Father, Kunle is a good man. He respects me, supports my dreams." "Dreams?" Chief Easy's voice rose. "What about your duty to this family? To our people?" The courtyard seemed to close in around them. Adana's younger siblings peeked from behind the door, their faces filled with fear and curiosity. "Father," she said, her voice shaking but firm, "I will not let tradition dictate my heart. I love him." The silence that followed was deafening. Chief Ease turned away, his figure silhouetted against the fading light. "You have brought dishonor to this family," he said quietly. "Until you end this foolishness, you are no longer my daughter." Adana's world shattered. Tears welled in her eyes, but she refused to let them fall. With a deep breath, she walked away, her heart breaking but her resolve unshaken. Kunle declares his love publicly. Days turned into weeks, and the whispers about Adana and Kunle grew louder. But Kunle refused to hide his love any longer. The perfect opportunity came during the annual Lagos Cultural Festival, where the streets were alive with music, dance, and tradition. Kunle, dressed in his finest white agbada with intricate gold embroidery, climbed onto the festival stage. Drummers paused and dancers froze mid-step as he raised his hand. "People of Lagos," he began, his voice cutting through the crowd, "I stand here not as a man seeking approval, but as a man in love." Gasps rippled through the audience. Adana, standing in the crowd, felt her heart race. She wore a bold Ankara dress, her coral beads glinting in the sunlight. Kunle continued, "I am Yoruba, yes, but love does not ask for tribe or tradition. I love Adana, an Igbo woman, and I will not be silent about it." The crowd erupted. Some cheered, moved by his courage. Others murmured in disapproval. Adana's father, watching from the shadows, clenched his fists. Adana's heart swelled with pride and fear. She knew this was only the beginning of their fight. Adana's speech at the cultural festival. The murmurs of the crowd still lingered in the air when, days later, Adana took her stand. The cultural festival had brought thousands together, and she knew this was her moment to be heard. Stepping onto the stage, she was a vision of grace and defiance. Her dress, a fusion of Igbo and Yoruba designs, was a statement in itself. Lanterns flickered, casting her in a warm glow as she faced the audience. "We have been divided for too long," she began, her voice trembling slightly. "By tribe, by history, by fear. But what if we chose love? What if we chose unity?" The crowd was silent, hanging on to her every word. "Kunle and I are not rebels," she continued. "We are proof that love can bridge even the widest gaps. I ask you, not as an Igbo woman, but as a daughter of Nigeria, will you let the past hold us back, or will you let love guide us forward?" For a moment, the silence was deafening. Then, one by one, hands clapped. The applause grew louder and louder until the festival grounds shook with approval. Adana smiled, her tears glinting in the firelight. She had planted the seed of change. The climactic reconciliation scene. The sun dipped low over the Lagos beach, painting the sky in hues of gold and crimson. Adana and Kunle stood hand in hand, watching their fathers approach. Chief Ease's steps were slow, hesitant. Kunle's father mirrored his reluctance. But as they met, something shifted. "I was wrong," Chief Ease said finally, his voice breaking. "Perhaps it is time we let the past go." Kunle's father nodded, extending his hand. "For the sake of our children, we must." As their hands clasped, the gathered families erupted in cheers. Adana and Kunle embraced, their love finally free of the chains of division. The waves lapped at the shore, a gentle witness to the moment of unity. The sky, the sea, and the people seemed to celebrate as one. Tradition had not been erased but transformed, opening the door to a brighter future.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Click on the notification button to always get more African folk tales.